What's going on, everybody? Brandon from ESCAPETHEROOMers. We are in Osaka and we are at Studio Escape. We're playing one of their games here. Not sure which one yet, but you have to stay tuned to find out. And also, I believe they have a new game coming out, but I'm going to speak with the owner and try to get some more information. Make sure you like and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more info. Peace. What's going on, everybody? Brandon from ESCAPETHEROOMers. We are at Studio Escape in Osaka, and I'm very excited to be here because it's my first time in this part of Japan. But not only that, we're visiting Studio Escape, and I'm with the owner, Ben. Ben, how are you?
I'm very good, thank you.
Thank you for having us. I have to ask you, when did
It's complicated because this room was our first room, which opened in 2018, I would say.
Okay.
But about 2 years ago, unfortunately, there was a flood upstairs.
Oh.
The whole room was completely destroyed, so we had to rebuild from scratch.
Oh,
and
goodness.
it's now very different to how it was, but there has been an escape room in this location since 2018.
All right, and you have two locations.
We've got two locations, yeah.
Okay, and then this is the first one, though.
This was the first room we made, and it's technically also the last room we made because we redid it.
Okay.
And in our other location, we've got two games that are running and one that's about to open.
Ooh, stay tuned for that because we have an ongoing blog of the newest games that are out and the ones that are coming soon, and I'm going to find out what that is and add it to that list. All right, out of all the games that you have, which seems to be the most popular? Which seems to be the one that players tend to book the most?
There was a room that we had called Madame Leclerc and the Seance of Death.
Okay.
Which was a turn of the century murder mystery.
Okay.
And that was in the St. Regis Hotel, a 5-star hotel in Osaka.
Oh.
But because it was only a year contract, and there was quite a lot of buzz, especially it being in this hotel, that one got booked up pretty much the whole year. Now that that's finished, I would say that ZEN is probably our most popular among tourists.
Okay.
Because it's an escape room that gives people a taste of Japan, but it's a real authentic Japan. It's the sort of Japan that you would have seen 100 years ago.
Yeah, not only that, as soon as you walk in, you're in the game. And this whole space is yours to roam around, which we haven't yet. Hopefully I'm going to get a sneak peek and show you some pictures of what that looks like. All right, now, I have to ask you, you game master, I'm assuming still, right?
Occasionally, yeah.
Okay, so do you use cameras to watch players in a room, or how do you game master? Oh, we're on camera right now. When you're watching players in a room, is there a story that you can share with us of something you've seen them do? Crazy, funny, I don't know, anything you'd like to share?
In our old, I'll tell you, it's not this one, it was our old room,
okay.
You'll be pleased to hear, with very different flooring. But we had a group with a young child. And that's always a...
How young are we talking about?
It was about 5 or 6.
5 to 6, okay.
And they got towards the end of the game, and I saw the mum sort of waving at the camera. I was like, this is not good. We got in the room, and I'll just say, luckily, the flooring there was very easy to wipe.
Oh, no. Was it a horror game, or is
it was not a horror game?
No, not a horror game.
He just really needed to go.
Oh my goodness! All right, you know what's funny? That's actually not the first story we heard of someone, inside of a room.
Yeah.
But thank you for sharing that with us. All right, guys, I'm sweating because it is super hot out today. But can we take a look around the space?
Sure.
All right, let's go. Wow, this is amazing. I feel like I'm in an alley right now. This is really cool. This is part of the game.
This is all part of the game. So what we tried to do is use all of the space as well as we could, and we knew that we were going to have a narrow corridor for the bathroom, and we thought rather than just making it a corridor, maybe we can try and make it part of the game, and one thing that suggested itself was a narrow Japanese old shopping street.
I love that.
And it turned from an afterthought to actually probably the most, I think, the prettiest part of the game.
And we can't like buy drinks along the way, can we? That'll be awesome. Get it like a carry on the way or something.
No, but there's all sorts. You'll meet all sorts of interesting characters and see all sorts of stuff when you're in here. Yeah.
Okay. Let me ask you. So, do you have any updates you'd like to share? I know you mentioned you have a new room coming at the other location. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah. So it's called Madame Leclerc and the Seance of Death.
Okay.
And what we've really tried to do with that is write an interesting murder mystery. So it's not just an escape room with a little bit of storytelling padding. It's a story first and foremost.
Okay.
And the players are from the DPA, the Department of Paranormal Affairs.
Ooh.
And they have to investigate an old seance where someone died. And they're doing real detective work. So they're doing the sort of thing that a detective would do.
Okay.
It's not so, there aren't really overt puzzles. It's doing what a detective would do. And that is reopening very soon. It will be open definitely by the end of next month.
Oh, this year though?
Yes.
Okay, well, for 2024, you heard it first here. We'll hopefully see it within the next month or two.
Exactly, yeah.
Awesome. And the name again?
It's Madame Leclerc and the Seance of Death.
Oh man, we gotta come back in a month and then check it out. All right, now, as an owner who's been around for a while, is there any advice you could share for future owners or ones that are out there right now? Any tips, or what would be a tip that you have?
One thing that I think has helped us is not worrying so much about what the industry is doing. In our case, it was more not knowing what the industry was doing. But when we started, a lot of, I think, very common sense or things that had to be done a certain way, we didn't know about, so we didn't do. Things like having a clock in the room. Well, you need a clock in the room. Do you?
Do you really? It's an interesting way of doing it, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there could be reasons why you'd have one, but also I think it changes the dynamic of the game. If you really want people to be immersed in the story you're creating, if that's your goal, then having a ticking clock might not necessarily be the best thing for it.
Yeah, I absolutely agree.
Things like, as you'll see, rather than allowing the players themselves don't ask for hints in our games. The game master knows exactly where people are in the game. They know how much time's left. They know what's still to come. They can see where people are, if people are in the right direction or not. So we completely leave that to the games masters to decide. And again, I think that's probably not necessarily common practice.
It should be, but I totally agree. Yeah, gauging where they are, how they're doing in the room, kind of like anticipating. Yeah, I totally agree.
So, and then the other thing would be, I guess, looking for inspiration outside of escape rooms. I think the most interesting experiences are ones where you'll take your passion for something else and then bring it to an escape room, rather than boxing yourself into to what an escape room should be. Yeah,
I totally agree with that also, because that's inspiration from outside and incorporating it into your business. Speaking of passion, I want to get to know you a little bit better. Do you have a passion? Is there a hobby or talent you like to do outside of Studio Escape?
Yeah, so I write a lot of short fiction.
Oh, okay.
And so it's quite nice when we're making these escape rooms and these experiences. It's an awful lot of work from conceiving an idea to actually having it fully done. With short stories, it's nice because I can create this little world in my head, and usually a few hours later, you already have a finished product.
Oh, okay. When you do that, right? I'm always interested in this. Do you usually start from the end and work backwards, or do you have the whole thing laid out from beginning to end?
It all depends. Sometimes it'll be a sentence. I usually start writing the beginning first. In writing, you have plotters and pantsers. Plotters are people who plan everything out first. Pantsers are people who just start writing and they do it by the seat of their pants. I'm somewhere in the middle. Okay. I like to have a vague idea of where it's going, but often once I've started writing, it goes in a very different direction.
Ooh, and then you kind of piece it all together.
Exactly, yeah.
Wow, all right. You play escape rooms?
I've played a couple. Not. I've built more than I've played.
Well, you're here all the time.
Yeah.
What is one that stood out for you? Or is there a company out there and a game that was memorable that you'd like to give a shout out to?
Well, there's one that's very influential, but I haven't actually played it myself. My brother, so I made these rooms together with my brother.
Your brother? Okay.
And this would have been, I think, 2017 maybe. My brother called me up. He was in Europe traveling. He said, I just did this thing called an escape room. It's really fun. We should make one.
Okay.
And that escape room was The Architect by Sherlocked.
In Amsterdam.
Amsterdam, exactly, yeah.
Oh, wow. Well, that's a good one to be influenced by. Shout out to Sherlocked and for the game The Architect. All right, well, we haven't played ZEN yet, but I'm very excited because we're actually standing in it, or in a portion of it, and I want to see what it's about. So make sure you stay tuned for our sneak peek trailer so you'll know what it's about. And Ben, thank you so much for taking the time for having us. We really appreciate it. You guys, check out our website, ESCAPETHEROOMers.com, and also check out their social media for more updates. And also, one more thing, do not forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel so you know what to expect when you get to these locations, especially in Osaka, and what it looks like outside, what it looks like inside. I get to speak with the owners and hear their great stories. And yeah, make it on over to Studio Escape.
Two hits left for me to use. One hit left for